I mentioned, I recently heard this on, I believe, a podcast by somebody yet to be named, and it goes like this. When you're planning your tasks or a project, don't necessarily plan to work on it for a set amount of time. Plan to complete it in a set amount of time. So for example, if you decide that you are setting 1 hour to complete a specific part of a project, then most likely you will actually finish it in that hour if you don't give yourself another option. So at the end of the time that you allot, it must be done. For example, the other night I was loading course content for the ADHD high school success course that I'm launching. I was loading it into the course website. Now, most of the time, this takes quite a while because I meander through things sometimes when I'm not very focused. That right there would be some ADD kicking in. But I decided I would take only 1 hour. Now, I'm not a clock watcher. I don't enjoy watching the clock, and I don't really love timers going off because they surprise me because I don't always see the time. So instead of using my usual time timer app that shows me the time or an analog clock nearby, which are all great ADHD tips, what I did is I threw on 2 TV shows that equaled 1 hour because I do really well with that running in the background. If I've already seen them, then I don't really need to watch them again, but it kind of entertains me as I go. So I had my clock set and I could tell approximately how far I was in the show to see approximately how much more time I had, which is important if you don't work well with things like TVs around. Get yourself an analog clock because you see the passage of time better. And I set myself that 1 hour. Now, I did not think that I could complete this in 1 hour because this was a new set of software that I was using. There was some content that I wanted to adjust as I was entering it. There was just so many different moving parts. There was no way that I was going to complete it in an hour, but I thought an expert probably could. And I completed it in less than the hour because I had decided that 1 hour it was going to be finished. Now, another thing that this helps with is perfectionism. Another thing I probably would have done is meandered around that course upload for another hour, making sure that everything was absolutely perfect. And I will go back for another proofread because, I'm a responsible person, but I'm not going to get stuck in that perfectionism trap where I'm simply going through things that are not absolutely important, like making sure that all of the lines are the right number of points of thickness and things like that. If the eyeball's right and looks right, then I left it. So I went along with that 80-20 rule. 80% is going to matter, 20% will not matter. The points, that was part of the 20%. And if I only had an hour to do it, then I could not focus on things like micromanaging point sizes in colored lines. I mean, it was kind of ridiculous, some of the things that I waste my time on. So that right there is the concept that I heard, and I tried it, and it actually works. I don't know if any of you have tried it. Hi, Anselm, I see that you just hopped on. I don't know if any of you have tried this before, but I thought it was really interesting. So I've started doing that with more and more things, and it works every time because I have that hard deadline. It gives me, my ADHD brain self, it gives me that excitement of a deadline and that time crunch. So even if it's not actually due, I still feel that crunch because this is my only chance to work on it. After that, it is done. And then it gives me that the freedom to fill more things in my day because I complete things faster. I'm not going into perfectionism. I'm not overdoing things. So I hope that helps. And I'm sorry, Anselm, that your video keeps freezing. I'm not sure why. I don't know why. But hopefully we can get this resolved. I know you had video problems before, you mentioned. And yeah, Eureka to track your work. I'm not familiar with that one, Ruth, but I will look into that. I'm guessing Eureka, is it a time management thing? I'd love to hear more about it, actually. Well, I hope that this was a helpful tip for you because to me, it's one of those things that's recently revolutionized how I work. It doesn't work for everything, of course. Some things, if you aren't finished in that hour, if you did really power through and it's not completely finished, then some things might need another session. But the whole goal is to absolutely power through. And also some things you don't necessarily want to be at that high anxiety, super efficient level all day. That would lead to burnout. So I'm not saying do this for everything. But when you have a project that you might hyper-focus on, or you might go into perfectionism, or you might meander too much and not hurry through it, go ahead and set the time, stick to that time to get it done. Oh, Eureka! Ruth, I thought you meant Eureka was an app or software. Eureka, the TV show. I actually love that. I should have known that. Of course. You speak geek like I do. Anyway, I hope this was helpful to all of you. Please let me know what you think. I would love to learn more about what works for you. And I hope to see you next week, this same time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday at the Spark Facebook page for another Facebook Live where I can talk with you and find out what your favorite TV shows are, as well as any of your thoughts. Good night, goodbye, good afternoon. I will see you all very soon. I love you so much. Keep being amazing. You're doing great things. Just the fact that you are learning and discovering these things and looking for more information means that you are on the right track. I will see you very soon. I love you.